Okay, this is the District Operations Committee on the 21st of June. Could we get a roll call, please?
Yes, good morning. Director Matt Sampson,
Here.
Director Jed Smith,
Here.
Vice Chair Ranjiv Kush,
Here.
and Chair Larry Russell.
Here.
Out is Director Monty Schmidt today.
Yes, hope he gets well. I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Any public comment on the agenda?
There are none.
Could we get a roll call, please?
Director Sampson,
Yes.
Director Smith,
Aye.
Vice Chair Kush,
Aye.
Chair Russell.
Aye.
Thank you.
Public comment on any non-agenda items?
There are none.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Director Sampson,
Yes.
Director Smith.
Aye.
Vice Chair Kush,
Aye.
Chair Russell.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, spillway modification alternative selection and design project.
Good morning, board members. Alex Nye, Engineering Director. I have a PowerPoint this morning to go over with you. Let me just get it up. Okay, so I'll be presenting this item this morning, the Spillway Modifications Design Project. First, we'll go over with a brief background of the District 7 dams, and I'll briefly touch upon the current dam and spillway projects that staff are currently working on, because we have quite a few projects going out there, including the condition assessment work, spillway capacity assessment, as well as a local water storage work. And then we'll go into the actual item of today, which is the spillway modifications item, and conclude this morning with the summary and staff recommendations. So, brief background. So the district owns and operates 7 dams, which 6 are earthen dams, 1 concrete arched dam. They have a total capacity of just shy of 80,000 acre feet. And original dam construction for these 7 dams occurred between 1872 through 1979, not including some raises on Alpine and Kent later on. So, touching on some of the work, the district is currently working on a variety of dam and spillway projects, including both phase 1 and phase 2 of spillway condition assessment, the spillway capacity, and the subsurface condition assessment, which is the second project that staff is working on, as well as local water storage evaluations, which I'll go over in the next couple of slides. So starting off with the condition assessment work. So following the Orville Dam spillway failure in 2017, the Division of Safety of Dams, DSOD as we call them, instructed dam owners to perform condition assessments on dam spillways that were constructed similar to that of Orville Dam. The assessment focused on the concrete spillway structure, spillway drainage systems, as well as undermining. 3 of the district dams were identified by DSOD, which includes Sulawesi Dam, located at the top of this map, Seeger Dam on Acacia Reservoir, which is in the center, and Peters Dam, located on Kent Dam, which is Kent Lake, located here at the bottom. So in response, staff developed a work plan, which incorporated both a condition assessment and site investigation in a phased approach, which DSOD approved in August of 2017. So following the approval, the district retained the professional engineering services of AECOM to perform the phase 1 assessment of the 3 dams. And following the assessment, the district advertised the project and awarded a contract to Majora and Gelati to complete the phase 1 non-structural repairs, which included things such as repairing cracks, spalling, surface defects, resealing the slab joints, and clearing out the weep holes, which all that work was completed in September of 2021. Following the phase 1 work, DSOD identified and instructed the district to proceed with an additional phase 2 work plan and incorporate additional more intensive investigations, such as the use of ground penetrating radar to identify voids underneath the spillway chute, and also provide locations of concrete quarrying to actually get a visual inspection of the spillways underneath. So staff provided a work plan, DSOD approved it for this phase 2 work in March of 2022, and the district continued to proceed work with AECOM to perform this phase 2 engineering analysis. Following that analysis, the district executed a contract with the pressure grout company for this phase 2 work in July of 2023. So as you have it, construction and weather never really line up. So as we proceeded with this work, it started to rain in January of this year, causing our spillways to fill and start to spill. Therefore, we could not complete the work under the contract because it started spilling, provided unsafe conditions. So the work needed to be suspended in January of 2024. The work that has been completed to date included the cleaning of the spillway dams and wing walls, installing anchorage systems so that staff and the consultant teams can inspect the spillways, as well as completing the GPR work on all 3 of the dams. So the remaining work that still needs to be completed is the underdrain inspection and the concrete coring to get the visual inspection of the underside of the spillways. And staff is anticipating to complete all this work by the fall of this year. So that's one of the first projects staff is working on. The second one is the spillway capacity and subsurface condition assessment. So this project really focuses on involving and evaluating the hydraulic capacity and accounting for climate change projections and using regional projections relevant to Northern California, and more specifically to areas over our 7 dams. So this analysis is important because it'll help the district develop storm hydrographs and a HECRAS model that will be important in assessing the spillway downstream hazard potential based on climate change modeling and determine the maximum storm event that the spillways can handle. In addition, yes.
Sorry, Alex, just brief, what's a hydrograph?
It's a rainfall projection as far as levels of water anticipated based on runoff in the watershed area. So how much water we're anticipating to get into the lake. So based using climate change models, we can anticipate projected runoff into the lakes, which will translate to how much water will go over the spillway, and we could project what that hazard potential is going to be downstream, instead of using historical rainfall data.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure. In addition, we will also be providing a spillway condition of the Bontempi spillway, which will also include site investigations, non-destructive testing, surveys, and crack measurements to determine if there are any non-structural spillway repairs, as well as performing a hydraulic assessment to determine the spillway cavitation and uplift. This effort will also continue and complete the condition assessment at Kent, Nicasio, and Sulahuli spillways to finalize the concrete coring and underdrain investigation by the end of this year. Staff have presented this item to the board, and the board awarded a contract to Black & Veatch in April 30th of this year. And the remaining spillway capacity work for the spillways, along with the Bontempi assessment, are all scheduled to be completed by the fall of 25. So a third of the projects that staff are currently also working on are the local water storage alternatives projects, which is described in the strategic water supply assessment. This effort utilizes a defined evaluation criteria to differentiate amongst the various project alternatives to identify and evaluate the options that are being looked at. So the district consultant team, Terra Geopentech, have identified 3 short list alternatives that are further being developed and evaluated and have been previously presented to the board by staff.
These are the ones that the 290 million was the small one, and then the 610 and 620 million.
No, this is a different thing.
Yeah, I don't
Oh.
recall that. That might have been a different thing. I'm not sure.
What is the analysis that was presented to the board?
Just looking at the different storage options for raising dams, creating.
Yeah, that's the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The 290 million was the low one. That was for Sulahuli, and then 610 and 620, as I recall, were the capital costs. That's the one I suggested we terminate the
No,
contract.
I think those were not spillway modification analysis. That was a significant augmentation to the dams to add 20,000 acre feet. This is something different.
Correct.
Did you go through
Okay.
spillway modifications in the past with us?
No, this is the first time
Okay.
this is being presented.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's, so what's it, the reference that he's in the slide is to the expansion of the reservoirs.
Correct. So this is different. This is just modifying the spillway. So so the item being presented today is the spillway modifications alternatives, which utilizes the hydrological and hydraulic data that's going to be obtained from the spillway capacity assessment project that the district's currently working on to determine the water storage options and provide an assessment with engineering recommendations for spillway modification alternatives for Nicasio, Kent, Sulahooley, and Alpine dams for additional water storage. In addition, it will also focus on and provide engineering design services for the selected modifications at Seeger Dam, which is the flashboard project that will be suitable for bidding and construction. Services under this contract will also include a detailed coordination between the Division of Safety of Dams in the iterative process of the spillway modification, as well as providing grant funding support services to the district.
I have to imagine that other dams, other systems are looking at these same issues.
Yes, this contract will be looking at Nicasio, Kent, Alpine, and Sulahooley for.
I meant other water systems, like Department of Water Resources. I'm trying to remember to think. I can't remember of ever having changed hydrological conditions in a reservoir, changing the shape or size of a spillway.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually designed for the maximum envisioned intensity of rainfall, or whatever you want to call it. So this is kind of an interesting project in that, I'm just wondering what you do about it. If you conclude that the spillway is undersized, I don't know what you do next.
Right, but that's using the historical models for water surface elevation based on the max storm event. But this will incorporate the climate change to predict what that's going to be.
No, I understand that, but it's like, then what do you do?
Yeah, we'll evaluate that once we get to that point.
I just wonder, spillways aren't something that they're kind of special structures.
Mm-hmm.
They're wedged into the size and shape of the dam. I don't know how you exactly make them bigger.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Director Russell. I know during the Terra Geopentech evaluation of Nicasio in particular, they did determine that it was designed with sufficient freeboard that could account for that. So that's the additional work that the spillway capacity project that we're currently working on will really determine and nail down for us.
Gotcha.
That's a great question, though. So in regard to the Nicasio spillway, staff previously presented and discussed this with the board during one of the local water storage updates and have identified a unique opportunity to advance the district's water supply in a cost-effective way by potentially adding upwards of 3,000 acre-feet of additional water storage to Nicasio, which will increase the district's resiliency in short order relative to the other water storage enhancement alternatives that are being evaluated. And again, this project is what's kind of called the spin-off of the bigger water storage projects that staff are working on.
Yeah, by the way, I had a lunch with Larry Bragman a couple of days ago, and I informed him we were moving forward. He was very pleased. I guess we should also thank North Marin for their unique situation that's kind of started this concept, put it forward at least.
Thank you. So summarize, the spillway modifications alternative selection and design project is really the district's next step forward in enhancing its reliability, flexibility, and resiliency of the district's water system to help improve and service the Marin water customers. So the staff recommendation is to review and refer to a future board meeting authorizing the award of the professional service agreement with Black & Veatch for the spillway modifications contract in the amount of $1,944,669, with an authorized contingency of $300,000 for a total not to exceed amount of $2,244,669. And I'll be glad to take any questions.
I just want to clarify that this is just a review and refer
Correct.
today.
Review and refer. Future board meeting. No approval.
Questions, guys?
I can start off, Larry, if that's okay. Alex, thank you very much for the presentation. And also too, thank you for moving this quickly, and especially in light of the grand jury report about the need to reassess based on if we get more rain through a climate change influence. So appreciate that. And also appreciate you moving the this item up with the spillway raise quickly so we can move on this. And so the faster we can get it on a board calendar to move approval so you guys can get moving on that, the better.
Jed?
Larry, I can go next.
Okay.
Alex, yeah, thank you for the presentation and the update. I just want to get clear. We previously had a contract with the Pressure Grout Company for evaluations of the spillways. That work was not fully completed due to the rain in January. So the new contract with Black & Veatch. So one did. What happened to the contract with the Pressure Grout Company? Was that just ended early? And then is this new contract with Black & Veatch will complete that analysis, but that is separate from the evaluations of the spillways for potential raises that's being done by Terra Geopentech. So it sounds like there's...
Yeah, it's a bunch of different things going on. So that's definitely separate from the Terra Geopentech effort. So
With respect to the Pressure Grout Company, we're still in discussions with them about whether they're going to continue the work and when they might continue the work, or whether we might move that work to a separate contract that's been entered into. And I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was that we...
with Black & Veatch as
Black &
an optional
Veatch
task.
as an optional task. So that's to be determined.
So the new contract with Black & Veatch is for additional work, not what was covered by the contract with the Pressure Grout Company.
It has an optional component that covers some of the coring work because there was a suspension of work due to the spillways being flooded with water. So we wanted to cover our bases with respect to that, depending on schedule of the Pressure Grout Company.
Okay.
So we're still finalizing whether that work's going to be completed by the Pressure Grout Company or whether it's going to be that optional work that we have in the Black & Veatch contract. So we're covering our bases there.
Okay. That's helpful.
Thank you, Alex. What's the timing expectation to see this through? What are the next steps? What's your critical path to get through and have this completed?
Great question. We are looking to bring this item back for approval at first board meeting in July, executing that contract and getting into the design as quickly as possible. So I think we were talking within the next 18 months to actually have something ready to actually start construction.
Amazing. Can you talk through any impact on water rights, state approvals, or anything else necessary, and where you are in that process?
We started looking at the water rights. Looks like there may be additional capacity in Sulahuli because of the way that the spillway was designed, but we'll have to dial in on the
Nicasio?
details. I'm sorry, Nicasio. The design of Nicasio was anticipating a potential for raise, so that could be already incorporated in our water rights permits, but we'll be drilling into that.
But you're
further.
feeling pretty confident if you think we can get this done in 18 months, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I too want to give a shout out to Larry Bragman. He was banging the table at almost every board meeting about looking at this. And, I think we've been looking at options for decades, and now you guys are moving forward. I'm thrilled about this opportunity to get 3,000 acre feet, maybe a little bit more, in the most cost-effective way possible. I think this will be a historic increase to our dam capacity at Nicasio, and I am super supportive of your move and desire to do this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any public comment?
Yes, we do. Mr. Larry Minikis, please.
Good morning. Well, it's an exciting project. A lot of us have been following it for quite a while here, and it's so easy compared to everything else that's being looked at. And that's what's exciting about it. And I'd say one thing, as the design goes forward even a couple of inches extra to the design, if it's possible, could add a couple hundred extra acre feet. So it's going to be critical to determine what the maximum height of these spillway gates can be. Thank you.
Thank you. There are no further speakers.
Okay, well, with that, I think we're adjourned. The next meeting is July 19th at 9:30.
Do you need a formal motion to forward?
Oh, we need to forward. Yes,
Review
you're
and
right.
confer?
We'll take a motion in a second for that if
Yes.
the
So
board.
moved.
Second.
Okay,
Thank you.
think we're done. Thank you all. Yeah, later.